Oh y'all. Yes, old Mr. Tom's out walking in the rain. Now I know the lighting sucks. It's highly overcast today. And I'm a little bit old to be out frolicking in the rain. Won't frolic much. I thought I'd walk around some. Take a look at what survived the drought. Because I'm hoping with the rain today, the drought's over. Because we have watered twice a day on everything we wanted to save. We had to make a decision, let a few things go. It just wasn't worth the cost of the water because my little town thinks water is about as precious as gold. That being said, we only watered what we absolutely had to, which was our perennials, blueberries, fig, our 4x8 bed, truck planters, and of course trees. Didn't want to lose my 3 pecans or my oaks or my pines. And I had to do that in the morning, then in the early evening, every day. Been doing that now since August 4th. Now, we're just going to take you all around and take a look at how things are doing here at Deep South Bama since the rains have come. And we have our blueberries here. Now I wish I'd put some soaker hose in this bed this spring, but I didn't, so I had to water these either by hand or place the hose on and slow trickle. Most days I chose to water them by hand, and I'd give them a gallon in the mornings and then another gallon in the evenings. And right now there's about 8 different little blueberry bushes here, and of course you do the math. That's 16 gallons just here in the morning and 16 gallons in the evening. And then I'd come on over here to the south raised bed here at the south wall of the house, where I've got this banana pepper. And you can see it's still surviving. It's still suffering from that mosaic virus, but it keeps on bearing. You can see the blossoms there. Another fruit peppers forming. It is looking a little ragged. It's lost a lot of leaves. And there's a little banana pepper there. Not sure how it survived because I gave up watering on these about a month back. Just let them fend for themselves. Somehow they came through it. And this one here, second one's got some peppers on it as well. And it's also got more blooms and blossoms. Now the cherry tomato, that's finished. And it's been finished for a couple of weeks. It climbed up there about 10 feet and draped over that top nylon twine, and it grew back down all the way to the ground. But it just couldn't take the heat. Well, since early August, we've been in the mid to high 90s up into the 100 degrees, and that's not heat index, folks. That was ambient temperature. I don't keep track of the heat index. That sort of gets silly. But then the cow horn pepper, which also had that mosaic virus, it got to the point where it lost all of its leaves. So I decided to trim it back. Something I've done in the past. And it came back. You can see it right here. Now the leaves aren't showing as much of that mosaic virus as they were prior to it dropping off its leaves and coming back. Still got some. And it had just about wilted. Was on the verge of death before the rain started falling on Sunday. The day I did the video on Davey and his mama leaving after they spent several days with me here to celebrate his birthday. So it looks like, with the exception of the cherry tomato, well, I'll take that back, folks. I'm looking right down here now, and I hope you're seeing it like I do. Now that's a darn miracle. For at the base of this cherry tomato, it is resprouted and got new green growth. Now it's been a long time. I've been on this earth for nearly 64 years that I've seen that happen. So I better come on out here once this rain lets up and gets this here dead growth off, so I can allow that new growth at the base to continue on this late fall on into winter. And since it decided it's going to make a comeback, I'm going to grow this throughout the winter. I'll put plastic up, protect it if I need to. I'll put a little incandescent light bulb in there to keep it warm and cozy through the winter months. Now, I've done that before. I've actually grown tomatoes all the way through Christmas in January, February, into March. But out here by the driveway, something I hadn't showed in several of the last walkabouts was the old little bed here I had by the driveway. And I had planted in here some zinnias. And that was on Father's Day. I have a video on that. You can see they're not very tall. Father's Day was a long time ago. That's why, because I gave up on watering them, trying to keep them alive. And they just stopped growing. At times, they'd be so wilted and dry, I thought for sure they were dead. But you can plainly see they're not. The basil, I don't know how, but it survived as well, as has that little rosemary, both of which I planted on Father's Day this year. The grass, and I wish I'd done a video to show you just how brown the grass had gotten. It was brown, I was sure it was dead. You can see a little bit of it in Davey's birthday video when I come on out the front porch towards the end and see it's raining for the first time in over 70 some odd days. But as of today, and this is early afternoon on Tuesday, it's all coming back. We're under the big oak now. Rain's starting to pick up a little bit. It's not bad. I'm gonna come on down here, check the truck tire planters. Now, we watered them every other day. Got soaker hoses in them. We want to try to keep the lunchbox peppers alive. And we've tried, but the deer, as you can see, really do enjoy them. And I'll tell you what, when the deer first started invading the property and eating everything I had, I was angry. Put up the netting, put up fencing, try to keep them out. Somehow they got through it. Now they pretty much have just tore it down. Now I'd like to say I was still angry, but I'm not. See, I understand now. They were literally starving to death and they had no choice. So now I started putting out corn. But let me show you an amazing thing. Somehow these cantaloupes survived. And not only did they survive, now granted I was watering them for a couple hours every other day, but they have got all these cantaloupes on them. There's 3 right there. Here's a 4th one right here. And something that I'm starting to learn about cantaloupes, because this year I lost so many to what we call pickle worms. I think they're actually what's called a cucurbitous or British worm. You know, they burrow into cucumbers, watermelons, cantaloupes, and the likes. But starting around end of September, they're not around anymore. Here we go. Have another one right here. And here's another one. And another one. And there may be more. Yeah, the vines are looking a little bare. You can still see green on them. So right there is 7 cantaloupes. That's 3 times as many as I picked off them. I've only got 2 or maybe 3 all year off them because of the worm. Now here again you can see on these bonnie bell peppers how the deer browse them back. I'm hoping with the rain the deer pressure will let up some. If it don't, that's all fine too. They come in at night, normally around 10 p.m. I got to where I sit at the dining room window and wait on them. I even went out and bought some deer corn for them. And I spread some every other day. And just like last night, Mama doe, she's a big old doe, and her yearling fawn or baby came in just like they do every night and started eating that deer corn. Now this is the old compost bed. You can see it's bare except for some remnants of the okra. Of course deer pretty much ate it all off too. Of course garlic chives, they're growing wild everywhere. And the deer ate all the blossoms off them, and that's okay. Now this bed here, a 4x8 raised bed, the beans didn't do well, but somehow the radishes survived. The carrots are surviving there in that row right there. And I want you to look at that oregano plant. Now that's Greek oregano. Now that's a winter. That has made it throughout the summer in the blistering heat and drought, and it's now 10 times the size it was when I put it in. And folks, that's what you need to bear in mind. Make those observations of what survives the heat and the drought, especially here in the Deep South. You can see right here where the deer ate off all the blossoms on these garden chives I've got in this pot. And you can see they've made a mess of the okra and the tomato I had growing in this pot. Even though it still has an okra pod or two every few days, I just normally come out, pick them off and eat them fresh as I'm walking around. The purple basil, that has been a star. It wilted during the heat of the day, and it'd come back at night. Now granted, I watered this bed in the mornings, and I'd water it in the evenings every other day. But what amazed me, not only the basil, was this parsley. Just look at it. Now it too would wilt during the heat of the day, but as soon as that sun got off of it, it'd start perking back up. Now you can see what's left of my lettuce plant here. Now this is salad bowl lettuce, and it's looking a little shabby right now, but understand, it went through mid-high 90s, below 100s, and a drought, and it survived. Even though it looks rather rough, it didn't bolt, and it allowed me to pick a few greens off of it every few days to enjoy. And I'd say that was a champ. And that'll become a go-to lettuce for me here in the Deep South. The bunching onions, they survived as well. Didn't grow much, they still survived. But there were casualties in this bed. The spinach, well, there's one. It survived. Now there's what's left of another one right there. Other than that, spinach didn't make it. The beets, they're right over here. Some of them survived. No, many of them didn't. I haven't grown a bit since it first came up. The other thing that's done fairly well, as well as oregano, and that's this English thyme. But I think now the temperature's cooler and the rains have returned, hopefully they have, and the drought is over. I'm thinking it'll survive and flourish too. But I still can't get over that massive Greek oregano. We'll be cutting it back soon, taking it on in the house, washing it up, getting it dehydrated, so we can enjoy it throughout the winter months. Ooh, that's gonna make some flavorful Italian dishes this winter for sure. But everything's returning green again. You can see here over where I was composting in place, all dug up. Almost looks like wild hogs have been at it. No, it's not wild hogs. That's just Ophelia. She's my opossum, or as we call them in the South, possums. She only comes out at night. She lives over here in the bamboo forest. You can also see right here where she's been rooting when it was so bad, so hot, so dry. She dug up all this mulch. She was just looking for something to eat. Earthworms, grubs, anything to keep her going. And, you know, it used to bother me when the possums would come in and do this to the yard. But this year, maybe I'm just getting old. Or maybe I'm just getting a little slower and kinder. It doesn't bother me anymore. The little furry animals, they were struggling. They were just trying to survive. Now, of course, deer have continuously browsed back the rattlesnake pole beans. Not much left of them, folks. But the fact that they're still surviving is amazing. And they're starting to put on some new leaves. Now, I don't think they'll do much before frost finally falls. And what beans are on them, I'm letting them dry for seed for next year. And you can see here what the deer have done. They've tore down this deer netting. I kept putting it up, they kept tearing it down. Finally they won. I surrendered. I put it up in one area. They just, as you can see, tear through it in another area. Over here at the Kentucky Wonders, pole beans, they done the same thing. Deer just kept eating every leaf that would pop up. So eventually, I just allowed what beans on it to start drying. Now I haven't watered these Kentucky Wonder pole beans, oh, probably since first part of September. And I stopped watering the rattlesnakes. Here again, you have to make a decision. Is what you're trying to save worth what it costs to save them? The okra right here, once again you can see where the deer just browsed it back. Hasn't been watered since 1st September. But here again, somewhere, somehow, it has survived. Now, we're only around a little over half an inch of rain since yesterday late afternoon, but that's okay, because this rain is so nice and slow. Every last drop is soaking into the ground. There's no runoff. And that's really abnormal for here in the Deep South. Most of our rain comes in torrential downbursts. A lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. In fact, as I was out here today walking through this, I was thinking to myself, I can't remember the last time it's rained that there wasn't thunder and lightning associated with it. But starting Sunday, all from Sunday even to now, not the first clap of thunder or first sign of lightning. You just don't see that very often anymore in the Deep South. And here, these were the cobra pole beans. They're all but gone. As are the Blauhilde. But here too, somehow, without any watering since 1st September, they too, some of them at least, have survived. And it's hard to believe that poor lone okra plant, which has just been ate to pieces by the deer, is still alive. Oh my God, they just don't give up. So yeah, started back now, raining. Yeah, still light to medium rain. And I know I shouldn't be out here at my age getting soaking wet, but it's still warm enough to enjoy it. It's been a while since the old man acted like a child. So I want to finish this up. We're going to go over here and take a look at the fig tree, because it was dropping leaves really bad. Even though here too, I was watering it and I was really soaking it every few days. And you can see the leaves were turning a light green to yellow. If you look closely on the ground, you'll see all the leaves all the way around it that it dropped. Now a lot of people, when this starts happening, trees and bushes, and I even noticed this on several other YouTube channels, around the end of August, middle of August, end of August, when the drought became extended and severe, they were thinking it was a phenomena, something to do with fall coming early. You know, I knew it didn't have nothing to do with fall. Far too early under normal circumstances for leaves to be dropping off of my fig or other trees. And I knew what it was. It was the effects of the drought. The trees, the bushes, big trees, they were under stress. The heat, the drought, the lack of water. That's the way, when it comes to survival, a tree or any type of bush with leaves will do. They'll start dropping their leaves to reduce the surface area. Why? Because it's through these leaves that the plant will lose the majority of moisture. So it's a defense mechanism. It'll start dropping leaves to reduce the loss of moisture. And since Sunday, this fig has stopped dropping leaves and actually regained some of its color too. Now, the camera probably don't pick it up well. That whole area out front was solid brown prior to Sunday afternoon's rain. And now you can see some green popping up back through. Most of the grass will recover. Some of it, like here, will not. Up here on the north hill, and out here again, I wish I'd videoed. This was solid brown. Saturday, Davy's birthday. When I woke up this morning and looked out, I saw all the green on it. I thought, praise God. Because I thought for sure I'd have to replant this whole hillside again. And I've done it many times in the past. My bush, it's coming back to life as well. And now is blooming again. If you don't think nature isn't amazing and isn't a survivor, well, then you don't believe in anything. Because nature is. This Latanya, a few days ago, didn't have a blossom on it. It was wilting and looking sad. But as you can see now, this is Tuesday, since the rain Sunday afternoon, and they restarted again yesterday late afternoon. It has come alive, and all of a sudden it's blooming again. Not a lot of them yet. If you look out through there, there are some. Now I'd planned this little corner bed where I took down one of those Buford hollies. And there was at one time 6 marigold plants here. Well, 5 of them didn't make it. But somehow, one of them did. And it don't look all so great. But the fact that it survived is a testament to its ability to make it through a drought and extreme heat. I'll definitely be saving these seeds to start new plants this coming spring. Now this here is just that Buford holly re-sprouting from the roots, as is here and here. And they're extremely hard to kill back. I'm even starting to see some wildflowers blooming again. And I won't be mowing the grass again until after the leaves finish falling. You know, at that time, I get out on my rider with my biomass collection unit on, aka grass catcher, and we'll suck up what clippings there are and what leaves, and we'll compost them in place on one, if not both, of what will be the new garden beds for next year. Well, y'all, I'm pretty much soaked to the skin now, but and getting a little chilly. So I think I'm gonna head on in and get dried off, get warmed up, and download this video. Start editing. I just want to thank God and His grace for allowing this rain to fall in the way it's falling, where the scorched and thirsty earth can just soak it up without any runoff. And for those of you out there that needed the rain, I hope you're getting it too. And we'll be seeing you again, as always, on the next video. For now, y'all, take care. Stay safe out there. And may God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now.